It's only one game. It's okay. What is going on, everybody? Hopefully, you're all having a good day. Before I begin, if you are new to this channel, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, share this out with anyone you know. I would greatly appreciate it. I'm on the road to 600 subscribers. So let's get into it. The Yankees got their first loss last night against the Arizona Diamondbacks, right? It was bound to happen. It was bound to happen. They were going to lose at some point, right? It's not that I'm saying that I want them to lose, but at some point they were going to lose. It's how it works in baseball, how it works in any sport. You win or you lose, right? The Yankees started off hot, 5-0, but then they went up against a very tough Zach Gallen, who is a very good pitcher. All right. And he showed his stuff last night. Okay. And let's not forget the rest of the Arizona Diamondbacks team. Their bats are just as good as their pitching. All right. It was a rough one for the Yankees last night, no doubt. It was an ugly loss. They lost 7-0. All right. They got shut out, but things didn't look good for them. All right. Now, let's start with the pitching. Okay. Let's start with Nestor Cortes, who I've been saying is my biggest question mark in this rotation, and he still is. All right. I want Nestor to do well. I want him to pitch well. But let's start with the bad here. Let me pull up the screen here. So Nestor Cortes got the loss yesterday. He pitched 5 innings. He gave up 8 hits. He gave up 3 runs, struck out 2. He walked 2. All right. So once again, in the first inning, just like in the season opener against the Houston Astros, he gives up 3 runs in the first inning, and the Yankees are already trailing. All right. Personally, I didn't hit the panic button. I said, okay, maybe the Yankees bats wake up, they make a comeback. Unfortunately, that did not happen, and we'll get to the bats in just a moment. All right. He gave up those 3 runs in the first inning. Then after that first inning, he pitched well. Similar to the Houston game. The only difference was he didn't give up another run after that. In the Houston Astros game, he gave up 1 run in the second inning. And then after that second inning, he pitched well and left the game on a high note. The same thing could be said here, right? He gave up 3 runs in the first inning. He pitched well the rest of the game before being taken out. Now, here's what I'll say about Nestor. I don't know how he's doing as far as his health goes. His pitches do seem a little bit off, but you all tell me. Maybe it's just me. Something seems wrong, and I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's his shoulder that's still bothering him, or if there's something else that's lingering. I'm not 100% positive here. But if he's going to continue starting, he cannot afford to give up multiple runs in the first inning or the first 2 innings in a baseball game and have the offense try to bail him out. All right. If this trend somewhat continues, do the Yankees consider making a change at the starting rotation? I don't know. Right. Well, you all let me know what you think. Talking with a few people, it sounds like, if a month from now, let's say, if he still continues to have rough starts, they may have to consider another option. Maybe they bring up Will Warren and they move Cortes to the bullpen. I don't know. All right. Cortes, in his first 2 starts, he struggled. All right. Then later on in the game, he settles down. He starts to pitch well. Right. But again, we don't want Nestor to be the guy that starts the game off and then gives up 3 or 4 runs in 1 or 2 innings. It just puts a lot of pressure on the bats. All right. I like the fact that he could settle down and pick himself back up and leave the game on a high note, but this can't happen every single start. So Nestor Cortes does need to turn it around. This is the reason why Nestor Cortes was the biggest question mark for me in the rotation over the other guys, such as Carlos Rodon, such as Stroman, Clark Schmidt. All right. Cortes was the big question mark for me. I had confidence in all the other guys in the starting rotation. Okay. After Cortes, Victor Gonzalez comes in. Fortunately, he gives up a couple of runs. He struck out one, walked one. Cousins came in for a couple of innings. He gave up a couple of runs, but he had 4 strikeouts. He had some good stuff on him. He walked one, right? And then he gave up that 3-run shot, which was unfortunate, made the game 6-0. So it was a rough night overall. Okay. Now, we talked about the pitching. Let's talk about the bats. The bats were not alive yesterday. The bats were cold. The bats were extremely cold. Okay. You look at Gleyber Torres, 3 at-bats, 1 walk. He went 0 for 3. Juan Soto, 4 at-bats, 1 hit, 1 strikeout. Right? Not, that was, by his worst game so far, right? We're only 6 games in. Let's not freak out yet. Aaron Judge, who's been off to a slow start. Okay. 0 for 3, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Anthony Rizzo went 0 for 4. His bat was quiet yesterday. Giancarlo Stanton, 3 strikeouts. He went 0 for 3. Giancarlo Stanton, I'll talk about him here in just a moment. Alex Verdugo, 0 for 3. His bat was quiet. All right. Anthony Volpe, he went 1 for 3. All right. 3 at-bats. He got 1 hit, struck out twice. Oswaldo Cabrera went 2 at-bats. He got a hit, got a walk. So went 1 for 2. Jose Trevino, 0 for 2. He's been struggling. All right. So the bats were cold last night, clearly, right? They were able to get hits on Gallen, which was nice, but they only got 3 hits. I'll take that back. So the bats were cold. So this is very important here. Okay. As much as the blame is going on Nestor Cortes, the bats did not show up last night. All right. Again, Cortes started out struggling. He settled down, it's always nice to see that. But then the bats mightily struggled, heavily struggled. So the bats did not come through at all. And the biggest concern here for me is Giancarlo Stanton. All right. Now, listen, I really want him to have a breakout year. I hope his bat does, get hot. And he does start getting hits. He starts hitting home runs. But as of right now, again, I know it's early in the season. Things are not looking good for him. All right. I hope his bat does get hot soon. It needs to get hot soon. All right. But I will say this. If he has a batting average below 200 and we're coming up on, let's say, June, July, when June, July comes around and his bat is below 200 and he's still not batting the way he's supposed to, hopefully at that point, Jason Dominguez is back and starts fulfilling his role. Okay, then he takes over at the DH spot for Giancarlo Stanton, and he can switch off with Aaron Judge and play the outfield. All right. So, Stanton is a big question mark. And I felt that he was going to have he's going to have a big year, and he's going to make this comeback, and he was going to be the Giancarlo Stanton that we all know. But unfortunately, that's not the case for now, right? It's still early in the season. Let's see how things play out. Some fans are freaking out about Alex Verdugo being 3 for 21 so far in the season, but let's not forget Verdugo has some contributions. Okay, Alex Verdugo, that game against Houston, he hit that sac fly, which helped the Yankees win. He made that amazing catch in left field that helped the Yankees sweep the Astros on Sunday. So he is contributing in different ways. All right. But overall, the bats did not do their job yesterday. The bats were cold yesterday. So is it time to panic because they just suffered their first loss? Absolutely not. It's only one game. So some fans are already freaking out about this one loss. All right. I don't think it's time to freak out yet. It's only one loss. They're 5-1. They swept a very good Houston Astros team that nobody expected. Okay. And they're playing against a very good Arizona Diamondbacks team. So they're 5-1. Let's see what they do today. Today's game is an afternoon game, so it'll be an early one. So hopefully you're all happy with that. I know I am. Let's see how they perform. Okay. If they go back to New York with a 6-1 record, are we going to complain? They're 5-1, and this is without Garrett Cole. This is without DJ LeMahieu. This is without Aaron Judge's production. This team is 5-1. Did anybody expect this team to be 5-1 right now? I didn't. Okay, I expected them to win 2 games in Houston and split the series in Houston. All right, and I would have said, all right, they'd be 3-3 right now. Okay, what if they win today's game, right? And let's just say they were in 5-1. What if they win today's game and they go back to New York for their home opener and they started the season 4-3 in their first 7 games? If they started their season 4-3, what would your reaction be? What would your reaction be if they were 3-4 or if they were 2-5? Would the season be over? You know, if you all feel that, if you all are freaking out, some, not you all, but if some of you were losing it after one loss, I wonder how you all would react if they had 3 losses or 4 losses. I would like to know. All right. There's a lot of baseball going on right now. There's a lot of baseball left. Plenty of baseball to be played. It's not over. Calm down. Settle down. It's only one loss. Okay. I'm liking this 5-1 record right now. And I'm glad they lost now rather than beating them, having been, 10-0 and then go on let's say they go on a 5-game losing streak. Then what? Okay, at some point they were going to lose. All right. Now, you all tell me what you think though. All right. Should we, be losing our minds after one loss? I don't think so. All right. Again, this team is producing without Garrett Cole. Judge hasn't really been producing. All right. DJ's out. All things considered, this team is still in a good position for right now. Okay. And if they beat Arizona today, and which Carlos Rodon is pitching, he's pitching against Merrill Kelly, who's another good pitcher, it's going to be another good game. It's going to be a challenge for the Yankees. But if they walk out of Arizona winning 2 out of 3, I would look that is a series win. The way I see it, they swept Houston in their own home stadium. They beat Arizona 2 out of 3 in their own home stadium. That's a win. 6-1. 6-1. Heading back to New York. It's a good thing. Even if they do lose today's game and they finish up 5-2, it's still good. It's still a good record. All right. So what am I getting at? What I'm trying to get at is this. Let's not lose our minds after one loss. Okay. Even if this team was 4-3, let's just say their record was 4-3 going back to New York, I don't think there's anything to panic about. All right. This is a long season. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Okay. Let's see how these games play out. Let's hope the bats come around today. Let's hope Carlos Rodon has another good outing. All right. I still expect great things from this team. Right. It's a long season. And all we can do is root for them. Let's see what they do today. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to do that. But hopefully they win today. They go back to Yankee Stadium with a 6-1 record. And then they, with the crowd's energy this Friday when they have their home opener, they start their home opener with a bang and they could sweep. How nice would that be? But that's all I got for now. I wanted to kind of share that with all of you. I want to get your thoughts, your opinions. Tell me if you agree, disagree. If I'm right or wrong, I want to hear it. I love reading your guys' comments. I love interacting with all of you. Okay. I'm just giving my opinion. I'm not always right on everything. I'm just giving my opinion. It's just what I do. And you all don't have to agree with it. You all could agree with it. But give me your takes. Okay. If any other news comes out, I'll definitely let you know. So if you are new to this channel, please subscribe to my channel. Please like this video. Share this out with anyone you know. I'm on the road to 600 subscribers. And if you all could help me get there, I would greatly appreciate it. And thank you to everybody who has been supporting me so far. It means the world to me. And I will see you all next time.